Hello everyone, Shane1288 here with your weekly RuneScape Byte for Monday, June 18th, 2018. This week we see the launch of the Ingame Calendar. The calendar can be accessed by clicking your game clock, and this has been the update that has been in development for some time that the players have requested going back to Game Jam 2017. In the calendar, you can filter out news posts, treasure hunter, boss masses, live streams, seasonal events, minigames, and miscellaneous items that Jagex have put into the calendar. Events run by JMods will feature a crown next to them. Currently, there is no support for fan sites or clans or other groups to add to this calendar, so we'll be watching this file going forward. Currently, some users are also experiencing off-by-one error in the calendar date display, but Jagex is aware of this and working on it. We'll have full discussion of the calendar, its user interface, and what is appearing on the calendar in this week's episode of RSBANDB Update. Now on to the patch notes for this week. A new mini-quest section has been added under the miscellaneous section in your achievements. Clan achievements have been moved from exploration to the miscellaneous section. A player will now be resurrected by the power of the Grove should they die after freeing Solak. Now, focusing on Solak Phase 1 changes, failing the lockdown mechanic in duo mode will now spawn one less Blight-bound Lasher. Both arms and legs during the lockdown mechanic now have timer bars, and the volatile roots and Solak's arms and legs will no longer return to their full life point amount should a player stop attacking them. In Solak Phase 2, the click radius on the anima eruptions has been slightly reduced. A message will now consistently display when the anima storm has been fully depleted. In Phase 3, Arathor's life points have been reduced from 500,000 to 250,000 in duo mode, and Arathor's stats have also been increased. Now moving on to the Hall of Memories from last week. Multiple players can no longer catch the same knowledge fragment and core memory in the Hall of Memories. The core memory now has a minimum time cap of 30 seconds before it next spawns. The Master Clue Scroll riddle for gathering a radiant memory can now be completed in the Hall of Memories. Divination challenges for luminous memories and above can now also be completed in the Hall of Memories. Now moving on to some changes for the edit features of the RuneScape top-level interface. 3D World Editing, Minigame HUD Editing, and Gameplay HUDs Editing checkboxes have been removed in favor of an Advanced Options button. Pressing this button now opens a list of checkboxes of each of the editable components, and these are listed alphabetically. All of these can be toggled on to display the component to move it. The following are enabled for editing by default: the buff bar, the crafting progress dialog, the debuff bar, the minigame HUD, and XP pop-ups. Hiding the majority of them by default helps to keep the edit mode layout from feeling cluttered and overwhelming. The combat target window checkbox will only appear if the combat target window is undocked from above a target's head, and two options will be hidden until they're needed. Those are Split Private Chat, renamed from Private Chat, and Combat Target Window. The Split Private Chat checkbox will only appear if Split Private Chat is enabled in the settings. Now on to the ninja fixes for the week. A tooltip has been added to the Necklace of Binding, which allows you to see how many charges you have remaining. Death Touch darts can now be stored in a player keepsake box, and the Giant Dwarf quest is now started by talking to Commander Veldabin in Keldagrim. You will need to first travel to Keldagrim via the Dwarf Boatman and complete Keldagrim's introductory cutscene. This allows skillers to enter Keldagrim without meeting the quest requirements. The Group Ironman blog was also published on Friday. The blog contains a rundown of the poll results and what they mean for the project going forward. Currently, the project has no completion date, but the discussion continues. You can find the link to it in the description below. We'll have a full roundup of the blog post on this week's episode of RSBANDB Update and our third reveal of June. We look forward to seeing you this week. That's it for the Weekly Byte. If you want to chat with us in-game, you can find us at Friends Chat BitsBytes. We're also on Patreon at patreon.com/RSBNB. And if you found this video at all useful to you, you can like or subscribe. We'll see you this weekend, everyone.